Hey folks, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is officially out. As this video goes live, it is midnight here in Scotland. The day is finally here and I could not be more happy, excited, emotional and ready to start this new adventure across a very new landscape, sky, underground and potentially more. In the morning, that is. Yeah, I pre-ordered a physical copy. I'll be picking the game up, so wish me luck trying to get to sleep thinking about it. I might even be trying to sleep as this goes live, but who knows. With all of this excitement, I don't know if I'll be able to sleep. Since the release of Breath of the Wild over 6 years ago, this game was announced to be in the works back in 2019. Fast forward to today, the 12th of May 2023, and the latest installment to the Zelda series is here. In this first post-release video of mine, I want to go over some incredibly interesting things that you should be on the lookout for whilst playing Tears of the Kingdom. I know I will be. I've compiled this list going off the absolute most interesting things we've all theorised, speculated and discussed in the last few years. Are they truly in the game as we imagined? Could they be slightly different? Or were we very wrong? Watch this video, get playing the game if you can already, and let's find out. But first, the first famous line post Tears of the Kingdom release. Be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in to get featured right here. And let's get into this one. The first thing on this list is arguably one of the most anticipated parts of this game and has been for years, that is, the Zonai influence. The famous Zonai tribe first introduced in Breath of the Wild were present in the form of nothing more than ruins, the remains of a long forgotten past. They were said to be a magical and powerful tribe, they worshipped multiple animal gods and appeared to have their home set in the Faron region. But their work can be found all over Hyrule. A very interesting obsession with them picked up online among fans. Firstly started as a small discussion, all the way to today being a fully fleshed out theory, lore and mystery zone for tons of discussion. Fellow Zelda creator Nintendo Black Crisis even made 2 sensational Zonai focused videos and are incredibly well worth watching. The Zonai influence was highly talked about from the beginning of this game being a known thing. Back in the 2019 trailer, there were ruins believed to be of Zonai origin. The more footage we saw, the more this speculation and eventually theories got. And then the cake was taken in the gameplay demonstration with AGL Numa, as he just casually showed us an enemy drop with a material called a Zonai charge, dropping after defeating a construct. The Zelda fandom went wild. And since then, the Zonai hype has been insane. It really feels like they might actually have a significant influence in the game. And I really hope that is the case, as it would be so good for the fans and just really cool to see a small piece of lore from Breath of the Wild developed in its sequel. These 2 new mysterious characters may actually be Zonai people. Either one or both of them. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. The Sky Islands definitely have Zonai connections, and I'm assuming origins. There are also Zonai structures and locations with some stuff going on as seen in the game trailers, so they'll definitely be interesting to investigate. So I am going to be on the lookout for Zonai influence throughout this game in all aspects. The second thing I'd like to bring up is Korok seeds and new collectibles in the game. In a recently released ad for the game, as well as official gameplay previews, we saw that Korok puzzles and seeds, as we saw in Breath of the Wild, will be in the game. I know most people have already come to the conclusion of this being just exactly the same as in Breath of the Wild, and whilst I agree, I feel that there may still be more collectibles, new collectibles, something to add on to the Korok seeds, and whilst they're cool, small pieces of motivation to explore every nook and cranny, all for a piece of shit, they cannot be the only collectible like this in the game. That would feel cheap in my opinion, but I'm not worried about this to be honest, as I strongly believe there will be more collectibles. In fact, I think there may be multiple types. The first thing I want to find out is if there are post souls or some sort of collectible souls or spirits. These were very cool collectibles in past games such as Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess. They were collected by defeating Poes, ghosts that added a very spooky vibe and threat to the games. These little blue flames below Hyrule seen in one of the game's trailer really gives this vibe to me, and I'll be trying to track these down as soon as I can and get them collected if possible. I also think there may be some sort of ancient parts we can collect. This game appears to have a lot of ancient technology, and it's a guess, but I'm going to be on the lookout for potential ancient parts that we can collect. Perhaps they'll play a role in building processes with Ultra Hand. Or perhaps something else. Maybe we collect them for Robbie or Pura, assuming they are in the game. One other possible collectible is whatever the new Spirit Orb equivalent is. These new Zonai, presumably shrines, could be where we get them. Zonai orbs, perhaps? We'll soon see. Location unique enemies is something I felt was missing from Breath of the Wild. Threats exclusive to say the desert, the water, Death Mountain and so on. There were of course overworld bosses that fit into this, such as Molduga of the Desert or the elemental variants of the Talus, but there were basically no regular enemies that would be found exclusively in one area and didn't have another variant elsewhere. Bokoblins, Moblins and Lizalfos could be found in multiple parts of Hyrule. The same goes for Lynels. I miss the times of certain areas having exclusive enemies such as Gibdos in the desert, or Floor Masters being exclusive to dungeons and underground areas. It felt to me that the regular enemies in Breath of the Wild were inevitable wherever you go, not much of a surprise. However, Tears of the Kingdom appears to be improving on enemy variety, and I really hope we get some unique and exclusive enemies to certain locations. Example ideas would be Phantoms being exclusive to the underground, Mummies being exclusive to the desert, and so on. I'll be looking out for this and hope it is part of the game. Roar. Oh, jeez. Dragons. I'm going to be on the lookout for dragons to an extreme level. I recently made a theory going into the importance of dragons in this game, and I fully stand by what I suggested in that video. To briefly recap, I believe that dragons are going to be a crucial part of this game's story and lore, way beyond the levels of significance that the dragons in Breath of the Wild brought. Whilst that was still really cool, I believe Tears of the Kingdom has the importance of dragons on an insanely new level, to the point where they are literally crucial parts of how this story develops. Please do check out that theory if you want to know more, as it is extremely interesting, if I do say so myself. On what we believe is the first Sky Island we'll explore and the game's opening area, we've already seen a dragon flying around here, and that alone intrigues me. Can I just fly up higher and hop on, or will I need to progress in the story further first? Who knows? There is a lot of dragon symbolism and connections to the Zonai in this game, and that is a big part of why I believe there is going to be huge importance around the creatures in Tears of the Kingdom. Not to mention the game's logo, literally having two of them. That theory really goes into my thoughts better, so be sure to check it out if you're interested. The final thing that I will be on the lookout for, and think you should do as well, is Fi's presence in the Master Sword. This is a crucial piece of Zelda lore, and one I would love to hopefully learn more about. Going all the way back to the beginning of the Zelda timeline towards the end of the events of Skyward Sword, Fi sealed themselves within the Master Sword, truly cementing their title of the Spirit of the Blade. Since then, Fi has been within the Blade for every single adventure since. And in Breath of the Wild, we saw a small hint at Fi reaching out to Zelda, confirming Fi is well and truly still in there. In this game, the Master Sword is going to go through an extreme change, and we don't know what this means for the lore of the Blade, and more specifically, Fi. We know the blade is at some stage damaged heavily by malice, which is a substance of pure evil. Probably one of the few things that can damage it to this extent. The blade is literally broken in this game, and we don't know yet how this will affect Fi within the blade and what repairing the blade will do to help, if we even repair it. Is Fi dead? Is Fi rendered unconscious? The mystery here is huge. For a large part of this game, we will be finding out a lot more about the blade and what's going on, especially with Zelda holding the damaged blade. Possibly in the past. A big potential hint to some of the lore we may go on to discover can be seen in the game logo. We see the Master Sword in it, but with a sort of green energy half to it. The Master Saber, if you will. Damn, may the 4th be with you as last week. Could the mysterious green Zonai energy be a big part of repairing the Blade of Evil's Bane? Now that would be incredibly epic. This is definitely something to keep a close eye on and learn the new lore that's going to be set down. I could see a lot of clear facts being stated, but also lots of little details being presented in the background. Keep your eyes peeled. Are the theories about Fi returning true? Will Fi be considered dead or gone? We're very possibly about to find out. I hope you enjoyed watching this and will consider subscribing for a ton of incoming Tears of the Kingdom videos. I'm not going to do my usual outro stuff, so until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer. Now, just go have fun and play Tears of the Kingdom.